This is Decent for We the People. I'm not an attorney, don't claim to be an attorney, nor want to be an attorney. Any legal advice, search it for what's benefiting you the most. I'm just throwing out stuff out here for everybody to learn because I, a man, is looking all around me, not just straight forward, so that way I can find something that's best suited for me for the outside forces want to commit harm upon me. Or to find these things out, you can never just go straight forward. Alright? You always got to look on around you and see what's going on and the cause and effect is happening to us. Alright. I'm going to touch on a couple of things, okay? And it's not going to be a long video, I hope. Alright? But you guys heard me talk about residents, this, that, don't accept this, don't accept that, don't accept person, especially person. The person is actually the main thing you do not want to accept. Okay? And this is why. Act of June 30th, 1864, State 223, Section 182. And be it further notice, everywhere the word state is used, and let's clarify that. Everywhere everywhere the word state is used. Okay? Shall be considered to include the territory and the District of Columbia. Okay? Then right below that, this is where they kind of get a little brave, right? A person is no longer a people. It is a corporation. Alright? So all these people out there, it's kind of throwing out conspiracy theories and all this kind of stuff, and it's not really directed to me, sometimes people say idiot, sometimes they this, do that, and all that. Okay? I gave you the little numbers to look it up for yourself. Okay? But understand this. Okay? It specifically in here says, State of Texas is a corporation. California is a corporation. Alright? Now I'm going to go a state further than that. It's also a territory. Okay? We think the state of Texas is just belong to the United States Union, right? Under the Constitution. And it does. When you use, it don't when you use the state. Because there's other courts on that besides that define states and cleared, it gave it a different definition. Just like person. Person, when the Constitution first came out, it was used in the correct term. But they switched the definition on we the people to benefit them. Remember, every time I say anything, courts use definition that benefits them. Not the definition you go by. The definition that they go by that best benefits them. Alright? So, we'll go with the District of Columbia. Well, District of Columbia is still really just a territory, okay? It's not actually part of the United States. District of Columbia, just so you guys know, is Washington, D.C., 10 square miles. Okay, that is District of Columbia, and that is not in the United States. Okay, so it's basically its own little company, own little country. It's kind of like the Vatican. You know, they had their own little territory. Okay, so the District of Columbia is Washington, D.C., which is our own little territory. Okay. But this right here kind of tells you right off the top in 1864 what a person is. And it plain out says it. Person is no longer a people. It is a corporation. Okay? So 1886, Santa Clara County, Southern Pacific versus Southern Pacific. Okay, and this goes into the guidelines of at this particular time was in the 14th Amendment. Now we keep on thinking 14th Amendment's here to help us, but they used the 14th Amendment, and in the 14th Amendment, it calls it out. Person is a corporation. Okay. There's other Supreme Court's opinion, or supposed to be opinion, right? They basically turned it into rules because, well, the Supreme Court's acting as the corporation side, right? So when I say they're only opinions, I kind of misconstrued it a little bit because I was talking about Constitution and all that. But there is actually a Supreme Court for the corporation. And that's due under the effect of the 1871 Constitution of the United States of America. The Article 3 Supreme Court is the Constitution for the United States of America. Okay? So the for and the of is the separation. So there is two different governments. There is a corporation government and there is the normal government. But because we've been so dumbed down of being used persons, we accept person. So we accept the corporation side. And that's the reason why they're hammering down on the Constitution, because they're going with the corporate side. But they just can't come out and say, you know, we have no longer a Constitution because, you know, you are a person. That'd be just freaking plain out chaos. And they know this, okay? And they don't really keep this a secret, y'all. We just been dumbed down. The Federalists people, you know, they wanted big government, and this is the reason why we have it, is because of Hamilton. Johnson didn't want it. Hamilton did. That's the reason why they hated each other, right? They wanted, Johnson wanted to be free Americans, quote unquote, okay? Well, Hamilton wanted the corporation side, okay? Let's look at it this way. Back in that day and time, they kind of compromised and all this kind of stuff. So the Federalists was looking for the people that was willing to get benefits, right? And Johnson was one that says, you know, each to their own, okay? Live free, you know, and all this kind of stuff. So when you sit and think about it, the Federalist side, Hamilton, says it's okay for the people to be bums and bum off the government. Johnson, on the Constitution side, says, we're not going to support you. You're a man and woman enough to settle your own affairs, feed yourself, give yourself medicine, this, that, I'm just picking out words, but basically that's what it is. And Hamilton just say, oh no, come over here. Oh, we're going to give you food, and we're going to give you this, and we're going to give you that. However, when you come to my side, you have no constitutional rights. Because we're a corporation. But they don't plain out say that. But that's exactly what they did. Right? So you are giving up your constitutional rights to get free stuff. And that's the reason why we have so much conflict really in the Constitution level. What side of the Constitution, as the people entering the courts in, right? And over years, it's just gotten worse. One of the number one things that we actually need to do is get on our president's butt and on congressmen and all that, and really call them and tell them, look, the President of the United States need to rescind the proclamation of 240. Okay? What that would basically do is really kick out the corporation side, right? And of course, it's going to be a booger because everybody's used to getting free stuff now. It'd probably be a little bit of pain in the butt because people's just gotten spoiled and getting all kinds of free stuff and tax baits and this and that. But when you really just get rid of that part of it and everything calms down, everybody be more free. They couldn't go in there and change that 14th Amendment like they do. They changed the 14th Amendment on the corporation part, right? Because you have no constitutional rights. You're on the 1871 Constitution, not the 1789 Constitution. Anyway, you can take it in stride. You can believe me or not believe me, but I gave you a couple of cases for you guys to look up. And you guys decide. And there's a bunch of others. I mean, we have one that's all the way up to 2018. And I don't know where it's at. And I got to find it. And the way I can bring it up, because that's actually the most recent one. But again, it pinpoints that there is a separation. There is a corporation, United States, and there is the government that we're supposed to be going by, right? The government that's supposed to uphold the Constitution. Okay? So, when I talk about Constitution and all that, y'all, I literally talk about the Constitution the way it's supposed to be working. But there is the two sides, you can't use person, you can't use resident, this, that, here, and there. Mainly because that is a corporation. That's legalese, all right? The corporations is more of a, supposed to be voluntarily entered, but it goes under the Roman rules that, I'm just going to call it short and sweet. If they're too ignorant to know, it's not my responsibility to teach them. Okay? And it's not the exact same words, but that's exactly what they mean, right? If the people are too ignorant to know what their freedom is, it's not my responsibility for me to uphold their freedom. It's for me to take it from them. Okay? Anyway, I probably didn't do a very good job on this. Once again, it was the last minute. Everybody's asleep. And I wanted to just bring this up because I'm having a hard time sleeping and I'm a little bored. So I just wanted to do this. And it's my fault, y'all. But take it with a grain of salt. But do look up these things, right? And just a reminder again, number one, one of the presidents need to end the Civil War I and Civil War needs to end, and president's got to sign off on that. World War I needs to end. Somebody's got to sign off on that, a president. Then they got to still retract the proclamation of 2040. All right, the 2040 is what really nailed everything so hard on us. All right, that's what really got us deep into the corporation. And it's a pain to get out, and it will be a pain. And to be honest with you, I don't have enough faith in we the people out here to actually want to put any effort to even though it's so much of a small protest and a big one. But that's just my way of thinking. I think everybody's gotten too comfortable. You know, we haven't really had a war where the whole family, was swept out and took to war. It's coming. It can't keep going like this. So it's coming. But we in all actuality called peacetime, but we're still in wartime. So, we still got the army guys and all that, and they're overseas. So we're always in war, and they got to keep that war going. So they never ended the Civil War, and they never ended World War I. And that way they can keep war on drugs. War on drugs is because of the martial law. Anyway, this is Diesel for We the People News. I'll quit rambling and go on. Remember, y'all, always look around you, not just straight forward, for there is outside forces wanting to commit harm upon you. If you want to be a slave, then be a person. If you want to be free, then you need to stand as a man or a woman. Bye, y'all.